Yo, before we get into it, make sure to click the link for my giveaway in the description. I know y'all want a free pair of kicks. Go ahead and click it. It's right there at the top. Don't take much time. All you gotta be is subscribe to the channel and living in America. If you win, you get a free pair of shoes in your choice up to like 110, 20 bucks. Your choice, your size, whatever you want. So make sure you enter the link in the description. Enter that giveaway right now. All right, on with the show. What's good, sneakerheads? Back here with another one. I've been waiting on this one for like 6 weeks now. It got delayed 2 or 3 different times. Nike ultimately ended up taking like $30 off the top for me because of it. All types of stuff. It was actually delayed because they ran out of one of the materials that I put on it. Because I saw people on Instagram that were getting the black and white ones, 3 weeks ago. But the ones with color got delayed. The ones with better material got delayed. Stuff like that. So this one uses all the materials that were available and a wide variety of colors. So, yeah. But I'm going to open it with fire. Because these things are fire. Fire. Alright. These things, it's funny because they were in China yesterday. I know there's like a delay and everything, but literally it said yesterday they were leaving China. They arrived in Anchorage, Alaska, like probably 3 o'clock in the morning, and then came to my doorstep at 6 o'clock at night. So they went from Anchorage, Alaska to Kentucky, and then to North Carolina, and then to here. And the funny thing is, when it left Kentucky, it left at 6:15 in the morning. And by 6:30, it said a mechanical failure has delayed your shipping. So something happened with the plane, but it was only 15 minutes. So this is definitely an unusual box for Nike. And the crazy thing is, this is my technical first NIKEiD that I've ever had. I've gotten another one, but it was those Kobe's that came out a little while ago. I just bought those to sell them. I didn't really even do any design or anything special to them. These are completely custom. I even took away the Nike Air on the back and wrote trademark kicks. So this is kind of to celebrate 500 subscribers. So when 1,000 comes, I'll do something else for that. This is kind of like the 500. I already like the box. This box looks crazy. I'm going to put this away. All right. Ooh. Look at that. It's got that iridescent little ring right there. It's got the Nike by You, that iridescent kind of color shifting look right there. I love that. They know me all too well. These are size 12 in the NIKEiD Air Force One Nigel Sylvesters. These shoes were available for about a day online, and then they took it down. I got lucky enough with it. I mean, I was rushing through it, but then I realized I need to calm down. It's a NIKEiD. They got to give a little bit of time for it. So I selected the best overall to allow for my personality as well as to keep the whole inspiration of Nigel Sylvester in the shoe. The inspiration for, the NIKEiD was like his choices, because everything was done by him. Like he chose the shoe, he chose the materials, the color, everything that would have went into your choices. And the inspiration behind that was 1980 and 1990s New York City, because that's where he was born and raised, in Queens, New York. So let's go into it. I'm going to open it up real quick. Now, the before I actually look at these, because I haven't even opened them to look at them yet. Before I look at these, the material selection that was available was patent leather, velvet, satin, stitched leather or quilted leather, the kind of leather that they put on like Louis Vuitton bags and stuff, where it's like the same leather that was on the Just Don Jordan 2s, the blue ones, where it's like stitched, kind of it really soft and cool. And I believe that they used mesh and regular leather too. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know that the original ones were there. It's kind of like a luxury leather or a luxury material. And the colors that they had a bunch of other colors, but the two primary were a purple, some type of purple, and metallic gold. Those were the two like special colors that were added in. Yeah, so let me open this up real quick. Wow. Wow. Wow, these are nice. Look at those. Now, I wasn't entirely sure. Like, I was going to go for 2 pair, but I didn't know if they would allow for that or they would cancel it or whatever else. So I kind of worked everything in on this particular shoe. Now, the special thing about these, besides the fact that it was an Air Force One, and he chose Air Force One because of the fact that it's a New York shoe. It's that and Timberland boots. Those are the top 2 New York shoes. So, there was that. I love Air Force Ones. But you see right here in this swoosh, there was an option to do a regular swoosh or a multi-layered swoosh. And this is kind of what he had. It was like his special, like, signature swoosh. So I went ahead and kept with the multi-layer right there. So it's green, red, and gold. Kind of reminds me of, like, Jamaican colors. So, like, Jamaica Queens, So I definitely wanted to keep with that. And you had the option to use a second swoosh. And the second swoosh is kind of his thing. If you remember, the Jordan 1s that came out had the second swoosh on the toe. You had the option to take it or leave it. And I decided to go ahead and keep it and put it in on green just to kind of contrast the green that's right here. Since, it's primarily black and gold. But, I wanted it to contrast a little bit. So I went ahead and kept that. Now, the materials that I used were satin on the whole toe box right here. This whole bit right here is satin, black satin. Then you've got black patent leather on this whole side and back panel right here. The eyelets and the tongue are regular leather. And then the inside liner is velvet. And it says NIKEiD by Nigel on the inside. I'll get a picture of that and show it. I chose the regular black laces, and they come with gold tips on them. So that's really cool. Nice contrasting look. I also chose gold for the what's it called? The lacelet, as well as the Nike on the tongue. Now, on the back where the Nike Air is, you had the choice of whatever material you wanted. So I was going back and forth between velvet and that stitched leather. And for the type of shoe that this is, I wanted to go stitched leather and like quilted leather, but it just didn't look right. I'm sure it would look amazing, in hand, but just on the computer, it just did not look right. So I went ahead and went with velvet. So there's gold velvet all right here. Then you got the Nike in black and the trade mark right there. I really like the way that these came out. the talk about quality. The quality of these is amazing. And you had the option to either keep this air whited out or, accent it with another color. I'm not sure what the option was. I also went with an all black outsole just because, it contrasts with the rest of the shoe. Were you guys able to cop these things? Like, they were fairly easy to, like, would you even want to? And I really wish that I would have copped another pair. Let's get them on feet real quick. These things are fire. I can't wait to feel them. That velour, or that velvet. I keep saying velour, but yeah, that velvet. Whew. Yeah, these run same size, same everything as your normal Air Force One. The quality on these are so much better than regular Nikes. Like they make each of these by hand. Like they sent me updates as they went along, with like where it was in the process of being made and everything else. Like I love these shoes and I love the selection that I made for them. Like I could have done patent leather in the toe and the rest, but you know how patent leather and toe boxes are. They do not go very well together. Like those things would crease like crazy and just not look very good. I could have done regular leather, but what's the point? Because you could just go buy a regular pair of Air Force Ones if you want regular leather. So I stuck with the primary, like the luxury materials on it. And, like I said, I kept the patent leather here because this is a lot less likely to crease. Kept the satin up here just because it looks baller. And I kept the regular leather around the eyelets just because, regular leather, there's a lot of wear and tear that goes in right there. So, especially with the tongue, and the leather quality on it is like super buttery as well. But that velvet, oh. The only other shoe that I've got with a velvet is the Nike Sean Witherspoons and the Humidity Dunks. Those are the only two that I've got with a velvet liner on the inside of it. Now, for those of you that don't know, I mean, these originally, they popped up the day after my birthday on October 11th. But before that, they originally dropped in already made colorways and schemes and everything at the Nike 45 studio in Soho. So you could have went and copped some of those. Those were the ones that were designed specifically by Nigel that he wore. They had those already made. You could have just went and bought them and gone on from there. Now, for those of you that don't know, Nigel Sylvester is a pro BMX rider from Queens, New York. He's not your typical BMX rider. He got famous mainly on social media. He doesn't really compete. he's really famous for his point of view trick riding through city streets of like the big cities all around the world. He just kind of puts a GoPro on and rolls through like, you know, main streets and everything else all around the world and does tricks off of things and stuff like that. So that's called Go. You can look it up if you want to. He's done collaborations with all types of brands. He's had 2 or 3 with Nike. I'm pretty sure he had a Dunk too, so 3 with Nike. Jordan won a Dunk in these. He had a collab with New Era, the hat. He had a collab with G-Shock and, you know, a bunch of other people. But he had one with Pharrell Williams to make BMX bicycles. And they made them under Brooklyn Machine Company or something like that, out of Brooklyn, the biking company. And they debuted them in 2013 on the red carpet of the Video Music Awards, the MTV Video Music Awards. That's pretty cool. So if you want to look back, you know, on YouTube or whatever and see if you can catch that, that'd be cool. He was featured by he had a line, so a feature by Jay-Z in the Frank Ocean song Biking. There was a line in there about cutting back flips like Nigel Sylvester or something. He was also featured in a few music videos by A$AP Ferg, Wiz Khalifa, Mac Wild, and there was probably a few other people in there. Yeah, he's done a lot of things. So for just a random kid that got big on social media, BMXing, like he's done a lot of awesome things. And he didn't have very bad taste or, you know, ideas in fashion either. So shout out to him. I didn't really even know about him. I had heard of him, but I didn't really know about him. Like if you would have brought up his name, I probably wouldn't even thought. But when I did research and looked up his Go series, I have seen quite a few of them. So go check them out. You might know who I'm talking about if you don't. But yeah, that's it. So, were you able to cop these? Did you even want to cop these? And if you did, what colorway did you get? The white ones look super crispy. That's actually what I was going to go for next. I was going to get the black, and I was going to go for a white pair, but I didn't know if they would cancel or not because they are a limited drop. But so I didn't want to push it. But yeah, let me know what your colorways were down in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Like I said, comment. Make sure to subscribe. I got a lot more shoes on the way. If you want to turn that bell on, go ahead and do it. Make sure to follow me on the social media. Links are in the description. And that's about it. Until next time, be safe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.